Hello my friends and welcome to the second class in our writing course. Today my friends we're going to carry on talking about content words, and after we finished nouns and adjectives in the first class, today we are going to start talking about verbs, and if we still have time we're going to discuss adverbs thoroughly. Allow me my friends here to start defining a verb. A verb is a content word that describes an action, illustrates a situation, or highlights a function, a grammatical function. And after we finish discussing the main three types of verbs, the main verbs, auxiliary verbs, modal verbs, we're going to understand this definition better. A lot of students ask me the following question. Teachers, we know that we have more than these three types. Why do you concentrate on these three in your courses? Generally, my friends, I concentrate on these three types of verbs because they are the most important and the most common verbs used in writing and speaking. You can always go and take a grammar book so that you can learn about the other types whenever you want. Now, my friends, let's start with the first type, which is a main verb. So what is a main verb? My friends, a main verb is defined as a verb that without which there will be no sentence. As you all know, my friends, the main components of an English sentence are the subject plus the verb and the complement. Generally, my friends, you can make a sentence without a subject. For example, if you use imperative, you say come here. As you know, there is no subject written here. We can depend only on the verb. On the other hand, my friends, there is no English sentence in the world without a verb. So we call it a main verb because without it, there is no sentence. Here, and we classify the main verbs in three types. The first one, my friend, it's called the active. Some people call it dynamic verbs. The other one are called the stative verbs. The third one, confusing verbs. Let's make a quick comparison among those three verbs. The first one, the active or the dynamic, describe an action generally. Because it's an active verb, it describes an action, something happening. In here, the stative verb describes, for example, a sense. It describes feeling, let's say, or a concept. Or it could be describing also a statement, situation, or anything else. While the confusing verbs sometimes can be stative, sometimes can be active. Secondly, my friends, an active or a dynamic verb can be used in simple tenses, continuous tenses, and perfect tenses. For example, we can use an active verb or dynamic verb in the present simple, past simple, or future simple with will. And we can use it with present continuous, past continuous, present perfect continuous, present perfect continuous, or past perfect continuous, or any other continuous sentence. In here, we use it in present perfect and past perfect. For the stative verbs, my friends, we can use them only in the simple tenses and the perfect. We cannot use a stative verb generally in a continuous tense. We're going to take an example later. Before we discuss these examples, allow me, my friends, to talk briefly about confusing verbs. Confusing verbs are verbs that sometimes can be used as active verbs. Dynamic verbs can be used in simple, continuous, perfect tenses, and sometimes can be used with stative situation like simple and perfect, and they cannot be used in continuous tenses. Now, my friends, let's move to talk about the examples. I have here active verbs and here I have stative ones. We have for the verb sleep, for example. We say Sarah sleeps 8 hours a day. Sarah has slept. This is present simple, present perfect, and Sarah is sleeping now. As you can see, the verb sleep can be used in all tenses, simple, continuous, and perfect. While if we go to the other side, we can see that Sarah knows me very well, knows me. There's the word me here. Sarah has known me for a long time, and Sarah is knowing me for a long time. This sentence, my friend, is wrong, and we cannot say it generally in the academic English. So, my friends, an active verb or a dynamic verb can be used in all tenses, including the continuous ones, while the stative verbs cannot be used in the continuous tenses. Now, my friends, let's talk about the confusing verbs. Again, my friends, a confusing verb is a verb that sometimes can be used as active, sometimes can be stative. In here, my friends, we have types of confusing verbs. Type 1, a confusing verb that can be used as active, stative with different meanings, which means if we use it as a stative verb, it will have a meaning, and if we use it as a stative verb, it will have another meaning. In here, my friends, we take the verb think. If the verb think is used as active verb, which means can be used in all tenses, it means to use mind, solve problems. For example, can you keep silent? I am thinking. Here, I am thinking means I am using my brain in order to solve a problem. Here, again, say, I am thinking of you, my love. In case you want to say that to your spouse or anyone else, but try to be honest when you say it. Here, I am thinking of you, my love, means I am using my brain to recall you, and you recall your picture and these other romantic things using in the brain. And I hope one day you could be honest while saying this. So here we have the stative verbs of think. Here it means to believe. Allow me to give you an example here. You say, I think Sarah will not pass the exam. And here, my friends, I use think. In here, my friends, the verb think means believe, assume, presume, suggest, for example. In here, I can say, I think that love is dangerous. I think that aliens exist. And the other examples. In here, my friends, the verb think means I believe in my heart this is true, or in my opinion, something is true. The second example here, my friend, is the verb see. Verb see can be used as an active verb, and it means here to meet someone. Active means it can be used in the continuous tense. For example, Sarah is seeing a psychologist. It means she goes for the doctor for treatment, or we can say Sarah is seeing, for example, her fiance in her family's house. Here, it means they are meeting. Again, my friends, see can be used as an active verb. It means to meet someone. For example, a doctor. Here, Sarah is seeing a psychologist. Here, Sarah is seeing her boyfriend or her fiance in her family's house. On the other hand, my friends, see can be used as a stative verb, and here it has some meanings. The first one, to understand. If someone says to you, I see what you mean, it means I understand what you want to say. In here, can you see my point? In here, you were asking someone if he or she understood or not. In here, we use it as the verb to think. We say, let me see, it means let me think. And here, we have to use it for to use sight, see, from seeing. For example, I say, I see a boy running in the street. Another example is that I see a car in the street and it hit the boy, for example. And generally, my friends, there are a lot of verbs, of confusing verbs that can be used as active and stative with different meanings, like smell, like hear, like taste, those sense verbs. And you will, my friends, find a lot of appendixes in the grammar books about those verbs explained very thoroughly, and explaining them, in my opinion, is obsolete because we don't have enough time. Now, my friends, let's talk about the second type of confusing verbs, which is the verbs that can be used as active stative verbs with the same meaning. Let's take two examples only, and again, my friends, you can always go and read some grammar books to learn more about those. And I recommend a book called Grammar in Use for Raymond Murphy. In my opinion, this is the best grammar book in the world that has been made so far. In here, my friend, I start with feel. I say, how do you feel now? Or we can say, how, capital letter, how are you feeling? These two sentences, my friends, have the same meaning 100%. And here we say, I feel tired, or we can say, I am feeling tired. Again, my friends, those two sentences are identical with the same meaning. And here, my friend, look. For example, we say Sarah is looking beautiful. Or we can say Sarah looks beautiful. And here, my friends, we can use the verb look in the continuous and the present simple sentence in the same meaning. We can say, how do I look? Or we can say, how am I looking? Again, my friends, those here, whether in the simple form or in the continuous form, they have the same meanings. That's it for today, my friends. I hope you enjoyed this class. And if you don't understand the point, try please to replay this video and play some Kahoot games which are related to our topic here, content words. And don't forget, my friends, if you want to build your writing and speaking skills, you should start from the beginning. Some students complained to me and told me, teacher, you always start with us from content and function words, although we are B1 and B2 students, and I have the same answer always. My friends, if you want to be professional in writing and speaking, you should always start from the beginning, because a lot of students didn't study well when they were in A1, A2 levels, so that they still have some problems and some gaps in their information. Thank you again, my friends, and see you in the next class, in which we are going to talk about adverbs and we're going to finish the content word. Goodbye.